Hey race fans, it's race day, top 5 with me, Frank 5. And yes, I'm back home from college. Oh my goodness gracious. What a race. 3, 4, 5 wide on restarts and racing. Multiples, grooves, racing, the aero package. What a crazy race on a mile and a half with a guy that wasn't even a contender all night pulling through. What a race it was at the Windy City. Number 1, Brad Keselowski captured his 3rd win of the season, winning the Digital Ally 400 last night at Kansas Speedway in the Windy City, and a race that saw so much, which I'm going to get into a little bit, where Brad Keselowski was able to hold off charges from the rest of the top 5, Alex Bowman, Eric Jones, Chase Elliott, and Clint Bowyer to get his 3rd win of the season. And Brad Keselowski the entire night really wasn't so much of a factor. It's kind of a top 10, top 15 car, and they lost track position. But towards the end of stage 2 and like in the middle of stage 3, he started to come alive and kept making multiple gains throughout the race. And on the last few restarts, passed the leaders that were mostly inexperienced guys or like up-and-coming stars, and used that experience to hold off the rest of the guys on the last restart to get his 3rd win of the season. What a race. And Brad Keselowski was I think kind of an emotional victory for him because on Friday, his car owner from the Truck Series many years ago that gave him the opportunity to be in Cup, Mike Mittler, passed away. And Brad was very emotional about it because, he had done so much to get Brad to this point. And, he really enjoyed, was very vocal about how the racing was in a good way, and he had so much enthusiasm and a lot of cheers from the fans in the grandstands. I think over the years, since the 2014 problems he had with the other drivers, I think Brad Keselowski has gained back the respect of most of the fans, so good for him. Number 2, Alex Bowman, 3rd, 2nd place finish in a row. This guy has absolutely turned a corner, and he is getting close to his first career win. And Brad Keselowski even said after the race, Alex Bowman, he's going to win some races. He absolutely is. I mean, since Talladega, Alex Bowman, the 818, they've upped the game. They ran so good last weekend, and people were even questioning this race because of the reduction from 750 to 550 horsepower compared to last week at Dover. He did great. I mean, in my opinion, Bowman should have won that race because, he's just so close. But a couple of late race cautions hurt him, and he wasn't so good on the starts like Brad Keselowski was. So, it's a tough for Alex Bowman, and he's the first driver. He set a record last night. He's the first driver in NASCAR history to have 3 consecutive second-place finishes before scoring his first career win. That first one's coming for Alex Bowman, I promise you that. And I'm pulling for this guy because Dale Jr. put this guy in a reason to win races and be a contender, and he's showing it right now. All the people are doubting him. He is getting closer to win, and when he wins, you're all going to be saying, wow, I really should have never doubted Alex Bowman. Number 3, Eric Jones had a really solid run tonight. After the first race this year, it's been kind of a struggle for him. He had a really good run at the end of the race last night. But after the race, he and Clint Bowyer got a little bit of a scuffle. Of course, Bowyer, the Kansas City, Missouri native, still looking for a win at his home track, got a top 5 finish, was not really happy with Eric Jones because in the last lap, Jones put an aggressive block out crossing the white flag lap and almost nearly took out Clint Bowyer. And on the cooldown lap, Bowyer was not happy and got out of the car and pointed at Jones saying, use your head. Yeah, I mean, Jones said that's racing, but you don't really do that to a guy, especially on the straightaway where there are literally 20 guys behind you, and if you cause a big wreck, somebody could get hurt, and even the fans. So, it's racing, but at the same time, you got to use your head, Jones, just saying. Number 4, Kevin Harvick had the best car all night after starting on the pole, still looking for that first win of the season, and it looked like he was going to race with it, even with challenges from some of the Hendrick cars, some of his teammates, and even Eric Jones. But in the middle of stage 3, Kevin Harvick had to pit early because he thought he had a flat tire going down, and on top of that, there was a windshield tear-off on the front of his grille. He fell a lap down, he got his lap back, but it was only settled for a 13th place finish, so it's weird. Kevin Harvick has not won a race yet this season, so he's going to win. It's a matter of when he's going to win a race this season. It's not if, it's when. Because Stewart-Haas has had good cars, but they haven't won a race yet this season. Is there cause for concern? I don't think so. It's just going to take some time. And number 5, the racing itself. This Aeroducts package reduces 200 pounds of horsepower from 750 to 550 on mile-and-a-half or bigger tracks to help improve the racing, keep the racing close. And early in the season, we've seen that at Atlanta, Vegas, and Texas. And even Fontana. Atlanta, Vegas, Fontana, they were pretty good. Texas was really good for tracks repaved. Last night, I don't know if anybody could even say a single bad thing about that race. That race was the best mile-and-a-half race in a long time with this package. There are multiple passes for the lead and also for mid-pack, like slide, back and forth, crossover moves, slide jobs. It was awesome last night. 3, 4, 5 wide on restarts into straightaways, and they all did a good job of being able to preserve the cars during this racing and not crash into each other. Kudos to everybody. That was a great race last night. If you didn't like that race, as Kyle Busch said after the Chicago race where he and Kyle Larson had the remarkable finish, don't even watch. That was great. And I think we're going to see that in the upcoming All-Star race and the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte. Finally, Chase Elliott, 4th place finish tonight. 3 top 5s in a row since the Talladega victory. We really upped the game, and we had a car to contend for the win last night. We led laps. We won stage 2. We probably had a better car than Kevin Harvick did. And when he had the problem, I felt like, oh, goody, this falls right into our hands. Then Alex Bowman comes up, and Eric Jones comes up, and all those guys. I mean, but it was overall a great run for Chase Elliott, and he gained himself some momentum. And also, quick shouts to Jimmy Johnson, who I didn't even see in the top 10 all night till the end. He got a 6th place finish. Chris Buescher, top 10. Tyler Reddick, our Xfinity champion in a second race for Richard Jones Racing, finished 9th and had a chance to win. And Stenhouse was up there. I mean, a lot of guys, this package benefits that some of those those guys that don't really see up front, with the exception of super speedways or even Bristol or road courses. It was awesome to see that. And also, Kyle Busch's top 10 streak at 11 races ended last night after he had to pit for a flat tire at the end of the race, finished 3 laps down in 30th. So he will stay tied with Morgan Shepherd for the record of most consecutive top 10 finishes to start the season. Up next is the All-Star race in Charlotte. Who's going to win $1 million? Will it be Jimmy Johnson at his hometown track, the track where he dominates, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, or Martin Truex Jr., or anybody else? Gotta stay tuned. So subscribe, like, and congrats to Brad Keselowski. And also one more thing to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day to you all. Have a nice day.